So we can spend a lot of time developing our group policies, testing them, and getting them to work exactly the way we want. And if we invest that much time, we want to be careful that we don't accidentally lose those group policies. And they can be lost through corruption. So somebody can go in and make changes and screw things up. We can accidentally delete group policies, or it could be as dramatic as, an entire server or site going down. So we want to make sure we protect those group policies with backups. Fortunately, that's actually fairly easy to do. In our Group Policy Management console, I can right-click on a domain and I can manage backups, or I can go to, expand my domain, and I can right-click on my group policy objects, manage backups, or this gives me a real quick option to backup all. For each individual one, I can right-click, back it up, or restore it from backup. All right, let's do a backup real quick. So I'm going to right click backup all, and I am going to browse to a new location. I'm going to go to my C drive. On my C drive, I'm going to create a new folder called GPO Backups and hit OK. And that's where I want to use. And then I can set a description for this particular backup if I want. And then back up, and that's going to do a real quick backup, and now everything is backed up for me. All right, now that I have my backups in place, I can right click and restore from backup. But if I don't, in fact, let's get rid of our guest restrictions. So I'm going to right click and delete my guest restrictions. All right, if I want to restore that, I can't right click and restore. But what I can do, and I can do this up here at domains or group policy objects, it's all going to go to the same place. I can go to manage backups. And it's going to go to my last location. Now, if let's say there was a catastrophic server failure and I'd back these up somewhere else, I bring my backup back, I restore it, then I can browse and locate the location where my backups are going to be at. But this is going to give me all of my backups. So the domain, the name of the GPO, the timestamp, the description, and then the GPO ID number. In fact, if let's minimize this real quick and just take a look at that GPO backups. I'm going to go to this PC, C drive, and GPO backups. Now this is going to keep track of them by these ID numbers, which are not easy for us to interpret. If you open it up, you'll see the backup information in an XML document. Basically, the point is this is kind of difficult for you to manage outside of the Group Policy Management console. But the Group Policy Management console does give us a very nice option here. Under our Manage Backups, it will show me what they all are, and then if I want to see what it actually was, so I can click on View Settings, and it's going to open up. Let me add that in. Say yes, you are allowed to do that. Close, go away. Okay. Here I'm going to have a nice little web page that gives me all of the settings that were involved in that group policy object. Very similar to the results wizard and the modeling wizard that we looked at in another video. Same kind of layout, same kind of summary report. So if I know that that's the one that I want, then I can select that and restore. And that will restore my GPO from backup. Now that it's back, I don't have it linked, but I can go to my location that I want it and link an existing GPO, which is the one we just restored from backup. And we're back. Up. Yes, that pun was intended. Okay, so we can easily back up, manage, and restore. Now, a couple of things here. If you're going to back up your group policy, it's probably not a bad idea to do so on a regular basis. If you're getting ready to make major changes, might be a good opportunity to back things up, just in case something gets screwed up while you're working in it. And as we saw, it just takes, a few seconds to back up. You might want to make it a routine where every so often you're going to go in and back up on a regular basis. but back them up to a location where those files will actually be stored off-site. So it could be that they are backed up to a file location that's backed up using an off-site backup tool. That might work. You might want to back them up to some removable storage, like a flash drive that you store in another location. Make sure you have an off-site backup just in case a building burns down. But I would suggest making backups before major changes and then making backups after major changes. So if you go through, make a bunch of major changes, do a backup, then you know that you have it backed up as of that location and time. All right, so those tools should help you successfully manage your group policy objects.